Justice League of America, Volume 3 is called Panic in the Microverse. It is mainly a Ryan Choi Atom sort of centered story. He basically finds out where the Atom is. He's in the Microverse. And the Microverse is very similar to the Quantum Realm, if you've ever seen any of the Marvel films or read Ant-Man comics. But basically, there's a whole series of planets and other worlds in the Microverse. You can only go there if you have one of the specialized belts that the Atom or any of his proteges wear. So the entire group goes to the Microverse in order to find out the infraction point of sorts, because the Microverse is dying. So as soon as they get there, they're attacked. There are armies after them. It's almost like a fantastic voyage kind of like story. I like that Steve Orlando always goes for the high concept story. You know, it's nothing like we have to go stop a bad guy. It's more like we have to go stop an intergalactic war on another galaxy and we don't have our equipment, stuff like that. So Panic in the Microverse also develops the characters of Frost and Atom as well. It doesn't have very much in the way of twists or action, but it's just your basic sci-fi adventure going somewhere small, finding worlds, facing a villain. It was okay. For Volume 3 of the series, it was simply satisfactory. Volume 4 is called Surgical Strike. It is about Prometheus. Prometheus is back. If you're unfamiliar with him, he is a supervillain who his parents were gunned down by police officers when he was a little kid. Turned his hair white and he became a villain, very similar to Batman in the sense that he wears a super fight computer in his head, and he always plans things to the T. He has a special teleport thing to another dimension, so he's hard to catch. He's been a big thorn in superhero size before. Anyway, Surgical Strike is very similar to a Justice League story. I don't remember which volume it was in, but it's the one where Prometheus sneaks onto the Justice League headquarters and tries to take down the entire Justice League, pretending to be a different person. Yeah, I think he killed Retro, like a throwback superhero who won a free trip to the Justice League Watchtower and then attempted to take down each member of the Justice League with specialized attacks. So Surgical Strike is very similar. Prometheus is able to attack all of the Justice Leaguers. He's able to get Ray angry and Ray leaves, and then the others are at his mercy. Batman has abandoned the group apparently in this volume, so he's not there, and it's up to the group to sort of regroup and able to do it on their own without their leader and facing a villain who knows all their weaknesses. So Surgical Strike has a lot of that sort of like cat and mouse sort of stuff going on. I love that. You know, like what happens when each of your heroes are taken down one by a sinister mastermind. I really like that. Good action, good moments from the characters, especially character development for Lobo and Ray. Lobo has the sort of storyline of why he's here. Batman offered him something and that payoff is given in Volume 4, Surgical Strike. Volume 5 is called Deadly Fable. It is a story mainly focusing on a new villain, the Queen of Fables. I've seen the Queen of Fables before in a volume of Justice League as well. The main sort of beef in that storyline was that the Queen of Fables does not like Wonder Woman, because Wonder Woman is a sort of princess of sorts. So the Queen of Fables is jealous of her. I believe that was Volume 7 by Brian Hitch in the JLA run. So she's back, but different version. I like this villain. She has a new backstory, and she is clung on to Frost, who's now helping her unwillingly, but not unwillingly, but sort of like the lesser of two evils. And this volume's thicker than the others for one thing, because this story is the last one. Justice League of America by Steve Orlando is only 5 trade paperbacks long. So if you want the full story, you just need those 5 trade paperbacks. So I really like that. This story is the most violent out of all of them as well. It's the most high stakes. The Queen of Fables is actually really dangerous. I really like that. She's really strong, really great antagonist if done right, because she's all about imagination. And she's got these giant, beefy woodsmen bodyguards that are tough to defeat. And I really like the new characters they introduced. Introduced another character named Aztec. She's like a woman who has found technology very similar to Manhunter. I'd say that Deadly Fable is my favorite out of all of them. So that concludes the review of the last 3 volumes of Steve Orlando's run of Justice League of America.